I got myself flowers. Valentine's Day is coming up, or it may have already passed by the time you're watching this video, but I realized that this year will be the first time I'm spending the holiday single in 3 years. This year, instead of feeling sad that I'm single and alone, I'm actually so excited to be my own Valentine. Call me selfish, but I'm so thankful that I don't have to worry about buying anyone a gift or writing anyone a love letter. I'm just excited to take myself on a date, spoil myself, buy myself gifts, do my favorite things, and eat my favorite things. And in honor of Valentine's Day, I want to talk about how this past year I learned to fall in love with myself. Funny enough, the reason I fell in love with myself was because I got my heart absolutely obliterated. I'm the type of person that when I fall in love, I fall hard. I allow this person to become the center of my whole universe. Everything I do, I'm always thinking about them. When I'm at the grocery store, I'm thinking about what recipe I should make that they would like for dinner. When I'm at the beach, I'm thinking about which little shell or piece of sea glass I should collect to give to them as a little gift. They say love is a drug, and man, do I understand why. When you're in love, it literally is like being addicted to a drug. You kind of have this obsession about this person. They're always on your mind, and when you're not with them, you're always thinking about the next time you will be able to see them. I know that there are people out there that have a nice, healthy balance between their relationship, their friends, work, and other things. But unfortunately, I haven't really experienced a relationship like that yet. A relationship that isn't all-consuming. But that is exactly why I'm doing this inner work, so that I can show up as the best version of myself for my future partner, but also love and respect myself enough to know what kind of partner to choose in the future and what kind of people to stay away from. It's interesting because I feel like people tend to date around a lot and have lots of relationships before they truly learn what green flags look like and what red flags look like. But personally, I'm only 20 years old, and I feel like it only took me having to go through one really bad anxiety-inducing relationship in order to learn a lifetime of lessons about how much to give of yourself to a person. It took me spending more than a year giving so much of my time and energy to this one person that I was completely drained and exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah, I was like, that looks more like it. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
For as long as I can remember, I've been kind of a people pleaser. I've always wanted to be perceived as the type of person that goes above and beyond to help others. Being a helpful person is a beautiful thing when you truly have the space and energy to give that help. But when you're really exhausted after work or your mental health is not great and someone asks you for a favor, you do not need to push through just to help them. You're allowed to put yourself first and say no. And that goes for relationships as well. When you've been with a partner for a long time, they may become very comfortable asking you for help or favors. And in my case, I had pretty much said yes every single time that I became scared to ever say no. I was scared to upset them or make them think that something was wrong, when in reality, I just didn't have any energy to give away at certain moments. But in order to avoid any negative reactions, I felt it was just easier to say yes, even though I didn't want to. But the more and more times I said yes when I wanted to say no, the more resentment I felt building up inside of me. And let me tell you, it is such a sickening feeling when you are screaming no inside your head, but you can't get yourself to say it on the outside. I let that feeling get so bad to the point where I know now that I could never let myself do that again. I respect and prioritize myself way too much. And the way that someone reacts to being turned down when asking for something has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. In all my years of life, I have only learned that lesson recently. I'm not sure what my love language is. I feel like it's a whole combination of acts of service, gift giving, and physical touch. When I love somebody, it makes me super excited when I get to do nice things for them. Whether it's cooking them a fancy homemade dinner, doing their hair for them. I also love to give gifts. Even if it's just something simple and small, I always make sure my gifts are meaningful. I'm not great with speaking my words, but I enjoy writing love letters because I can kind of get all my thoughts together before actually writing them down. Every time a person I love points to something they see that they like in a store, I always keep a mental note of that. I love to surprise them with their favorite treats, whether it's a Starbucks drink or a cupcake or whatever. When this person left me, I had so many conflicting feelings because I no longer had to give them any of my energy anymore. So I had felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, like I could finally breathe. But at the same time, I felt like there was something missing with everything I did. I didn't want to cook dinner anymore because I didn't have that person to share meals with. I didn't want to watch my favorite shows because they weren't there to enjoy them with me. I realized that this whole time I had been living only for this person, and I needed to start living for myself. I remember that someone told me, "Amelia, you were an amazing girlfriend to them, but you need to take that love and give it to yourself. You need to be an amazing girlfriend to yourself." I think my favorite form of therapy is eating veggie sushi in my car in a parking lot. Cheers. It took me some time to realize the true magnitude of the love and energy that I gave to that person because it became so normal to me. It kind of became a routine. But when I started talking to other people that had observed our relationship in the past, they explained to me how much of what I did was truly above and beyond. I realized that it didn't matter that this person did not appreciate the multitude of things I did for them, because that had nothing to do with me and everything to do with their insecurities. They had told me many times throughout the relationship that they didn't deserve me. And unfortunately, they were right. I just didn't listen to them. They were not worthy of me and my love. But you know who is? Me. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of all that love that I gave away to that person. Seeing the way that I navigated this relationship made me fall in love with myself because I realized how much love I had inside of myself to give. I just had to give it to the right person. You are more than worthy of love. However, you will never be worthy enough to someone who isn't worthy of your love. And yes, I just quoted that from a poetry book, but man, when I read that, it just hit hard. But after that relationship ended, I made a promise to myself that I will give myself double the amount of love that I ever gave to any partner. And I would only ever give my energy to a person that truly deserves it and gives me the same in return. One day, I will receive the partner I deserve, but in the meantime, I am perfectly happy providing that for myself. I never buy things like this for myself. Oh, they feel so fancy. This past year, I have done my best to treat myself the way that I would treat a significant other. I buy myself gifts, I take myself out to dinner, I buy myself random treats, I take myself thrifting, I spend lots and lots of time in nature, I cook myself new recipes, I do lots of self-care, whether that's taking a hot shower, going to a workout class, doing skincare, etc. It has been about a whole year of dating myself, and man, do I love the person that I have evolved into. I am incredibly strong, and I now have boundaries set that I will never let anyone break. Even though it was incredibly painful, thank God I got my heart ripped to shreds so that I could learn to put the pieces back together all by myself.